Ladies and gentlemen, well, first of all, if you're afraid of getting spoiled, you should leave the video now, because I might get excited, and I don't know what I'm gonna say. I just got done watching the Yorknew City arc in Hunter x Hunter, which I'm pretty sure the name is a pun on New York City, because it's backwards. Oh my gosh. Arc starts at episode 39 and ends at episode 58. Now, if you're bored at home, you've got nothing to do, you need to sit your ass down and watch this shit. It was incredible. Like, I marathoned that shit. Like, every time an episode ended, I'm like, okay, let's go. It was like, if this were a book, this would be me. The character development for Kurapika in this is just great. And one of the things that makes it great is that Kurapika is not he's not the protagonist of the series, alright? And in this arc, you have the protagonist of the series, who is Gon, sort of take a backseat to him, and act as a more supportive type of role. But at the same time, Gon is still growing. He's still growing as a protagonist, it's just like he's not growing at the same rate. And I think it takes a very crafty writer to be able to pull that switch and juggle it so well throughout a story arc. So, I mean, thumbs up. It's a 3-act structured story. The beginning is sort of like this infiltration with the objective of getting revenge. The middle is where pretty much all hell breaks loose. And then the final and third act is basically like a semi-conclusion to this quest for revenge. And that's very basic storytelling, right? 3-act structure. But what makes it so compelling and what got me overwhelmed is the amount of tension and suspense that is built up throughout the entire thing. And that's kind of like, it's what made me stick with it and be like, oh crap, like I want to know what happens next, give me the next episode. What makes for the suspense, well, at least most of it anyway, is this still continued enormous power gap between the main cast and the villains of this arc. And the villains, I don't want to say the villains make the arc, but they kind of do in a way, because everything revolves around them, and it's about getting more information from them, trying to avoid them, trying to outsmart them. It's actually a group of villains called the Phantom Trope, and I think there are 13 members. Each of them has their own abilities, so just for reference sake, think of the Akatsuki, right? And yeah, because they are, I mean, the show labels them as thieves, but I think they're more like terrorists. Think about a group of thieves that said goodbye to giving a fuck a long time ago. Like a long time ago. They slaughter so many people with no fucks given. They are badass. Like, they don't give up. Look, let me just give you an example. This girl here looks really cute and innocent, right? You see that cross, you think to yourself, hey, probably she might be a nice Christian. No. She actually kills someone by busting their skull open with a vacuum cleaner. With a vacuum cleaner, dude! Like, what the hell? And then like this one part where like the group ends up being chased by like this mafia security out into the desert and shit, and they're on a ledge, okay? And so, they're seeing all the security come to them, and one of the members said, like, don't worry, I got this. Just one member. And so the group members are on the ledge, and normally you would say, I mean, that's kind of a spectacle, right? You want to go watch a slaughter, that's very interesting to watch. No, let me tell you what the rest of the members do. They get so bored, they start playing cards with each other. I'm sorry, but if there's a slaughter going on nearby, and you would rather play cards because watching the slaughter bores you, you're a badass. You got Killua, whatever, who's been trained to be an assassin pretty much from day one, and he's freaking out over these guys. He knows they're outmatched. There's also this one part where, like, Gon, who, once again, he's like the protagonist of the series, he's arm wrestling one of the members. The guy's beating Gon, like, every single time. And, again, that power gap. He's like, hey, guys, just out of curiosity, you know what? Tell this little kid, in terms of strength, where am I? Like, power rank-wise. What number am I within the group? And the guys are like, well, you're kind of like number 7. Number 7, all right? Not number 2, not number 3, not even number 4. Number 7, okay? In terms of strength, he's number 7. He's beating the protagonist of the series. It just gets you excited because you feel like that's just how much Gon is gonna have to eventually grow, There's like this other part where like the boss of the group, fights this duo, or mostly this old man who's like attacking him and shit. And it happens within a hotel. I don't know how that hotel is still standing, but I mean, I think that hotel should have crumbled to the ground. But by the end of the fight, the boss of the group is like, Just out of curiosity, like if we were to face one-on-one, who do you think would win? And the old man's like, well, I'm going to say that I would probably win. I would probably win unless you actually wanted to kill me. I'm like, what the fuck? There's a guy called Phaeton in the group. Kind of looks like Levi, or rather, Levi kind of looks like him. They're both short, so. But yeah, Phaeton's a beast, man. Like, he's chopping heads all over the place. He likes to torture people. That's his specialty. Like, there's just one part. He's like, I guess he'll start like breaking a finger or peeling off a fucking fingernail. Mwah, creme de la creme. Beautiful arc. The only thing I would say, though, is that I would have appreciated a little bit more character introduction, just to get acquainted with the characters a little bit more. And actually, I would have wanted to spend more time with the group of antagonists, just because they seem like a very likable bunch, even though they are, batshit crazy. Please tell me your impressions about the arc. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Stop wasting time on my video and go watch it. And yeah, comment, like the video if you did, and subscribe if you haven't. Bye.